you wrote an article, stock up, stock down from the first preseason. As we get ready for the second preseason game, we'll take a look at some of that. Stock up, Isaiah Thomas, he really flashed. Kade York, Michael Woods, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Stock down, we talked about James Hudson, Ronnie Hickman, Siaki Ika. So we can go into that. Thomas, again, you almost forget about him because he was, he was drafted and then he was kind of banged up and then he was on the practice squad. But again, he's flashing.
My first takeaway after leaving that game was goodbye any chance of getting that kid back on a practice squad. That is a rosterable player who needs to be in a rotation somewhere. Now, the problem is he's in the deepest edge room in the NFL. So him getting playing time here is probably pretty bleak without an injury. But if he keeps putting that kind of stuff on tape, playing just like a man-child, throwing people around, spin moves, he's holding the point of attack at the edge, knifing down, getting tackles for loss. That kid belongs on an NFL roster. So any hopes the Browns had of sneaking him onto the practice squad for yet another year, I think those went bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm with you. Kade York, got to get the 9-iron out. Yeah. Stop kicking the ball into the end zone, dude.
Yeah, his strong legs, it was a kind of a setback on those. He needs to take just a little bit off, try to kick it right at the edge of that landing zone, make the return team make a decision. But I just got to feel good for him. It's been such a wild ride.
Yeah.
To be a drafted kicker, obviously you have that heroic moment in your first ever game, the game winner. And then it was a lot of ups and downs as a rookie. And then if you just think where he was at 1 year ago, how public his struggles were. You'd hear in practice he was just slaughtering the ball between the uprights. Then you'd get in a preseason game and he couldn't buy and make. So to see him come out there and just kill a 55-yarder would have been good from close to 70 probably. You got to feel good for that guy. And then obviously he makes his extra point. So just to continue along that trajectory, the Browns love their guys. They'll continue to bring them back. They see an opportunity to get them back in. And, make no mistake, this is D-Hop's job. But Kade York's auditioning for other teams.
Yep.
The Browns already showed they have no problem at all. And they would definitely keep him on the roster, as a practice squad if they could. But if you can get an asset for him, go ahead and do that.
Michael Woods is a guy that's playing his way into the conversation for the team.
Yeah. Continues to look the part.
Yep.
Week after week, his ability to push vertical and kind of get inside and create leverage and give his quarterback a quarterback-friendly option in the intermediate game, he just does that. It's so effortless for him. That's where he excels, and he's making it a conversation. I think that's the important part here. He's making it a conversation to whether he should be on the 53. Now, I think in order for Michael Woods to make the 53, he also has to be a heavy special teams contributor, but that's what's in front of him right now. Just keep stacking these good games, making plays. You hear it coming out of the practices. He's constantly making plays for the quarterback. It's hard not to put a guy like that on your roster.
All right, we've talked about Hudson, the stock down guys. Hickman was a guy, I had talked about him playing the slot. He played that, he got beat, and he got hurt trying to catch up.
Yeah, and I feel bad putting him on a stock down considering it's only 3 plays. They weren't an encouraging 3 plays.
No, they weren't.
And I believe he's being played out of position. I don't think that's what Sports' dream for him is to be a dime defender coming down in the slot. But what he did was egregious. You can't give a free release there. You obviously know you have no help over the top to let the guy get past you like that. And then add insult to injury, come up lane with a hamstring injury on the chase down. I just hope he can get healthy enough to kind of showcase what he really is in time. I want him to hopefully gets back out there and can show what he can do as a free safety because I believe that's where he excels in the NFL.
And then Ika, he's got to show something. We've seen not much anything.
Yeah. I was hoping that the body transformation was going to equate to a different type of player on the field, but if you just take a look at his first 3 snaps that he's out there. On the first snap, if you're asked to play either 2-eye or 1 tech on the inside, you have to be able to hold your ground against a double team. He didn't just not only hold his ground, he was on the ground really quick. And if you're a defensive tackle, that's a cardinal sin. You got to be an athlete, stay on your feet, and allow your linebackers to do work. You got to hold that point of attack. Didn't do it. Second play gets washed out the frame. Third play, he's on the ground again. They take him out. The next time they bring him in, he goes off sides. I feel bad because I'm not trying to pile on him, but the eye in the sky doesn't lie. You are what the tape says you are. And what the tape showed me he was on that day was an unplayable player. So he has to really turn it around going forward. Or I don't see how you could possibly move on from Maurice Hurst, for a guy that you can't even put on the field. So Siaki Ika really has to get it together going into the second preseason game.